Hey there, welcome to another video with Unconventional Counseling. I'm Ada at Astra, and I wanted to talk about what it's been like learning and relearning lessons on daily habits during this Virgo season that we just had, especially because Mercury was in retrograde. So I have a Virgo moon. I love Virgo energy. Virgo energy is some of the most hardworking, thoughtful, inventive, flexible, even though it might not seem like it, because it is a mutable sign, and can be one of the most grounded sort of energies. So I've learned so much by having my Virgo moon and really trying to work with the energy, because Virgo energy can also be prone to anxiety and overthinking and being really hard on self, and I'm just not here for it anymore. I just refuse to be mean to myself anymore. It's just not fun, so I don't want to. So I was thinking about this Virgo season, and when the new moon was in Virgo, I was so excited to revisit my daily routines. I've been trying to have certain daily routines or habits for the past 3 years. And there's so many things that I know that I love to do, and there's so many things that I know that help me feel very connected to myself and very grounded, or that feel fun for me. And I love incorporating them into my day or finding time for them throughout my week. And having Mercury retrograde during a Virgo season was really different. So I tend to be a homebody as a Cancer sun. I tend to be a homebody. I love being at home. I love doing the things that I do every day that I do typically. I find a lot of joy in that. But I also can get pretty restless, and I want adventure and I want newness. And it was during this past Virgo season with Mercury in retrograde that I was doing a fair bit of travel. I was outside of my norm. I was outside of my day-to-day, probably at a level that I haven't been for the past 3 years. And it was different and it was hard in certain ways, but I knew that being able to have a connection to some of my daily routine was important. So there were certain things that I packed along with me on my travels to make sure that I felt connected to myself, and I made sure that I had and created time to check in with myself. So I wanted to do this video to talk about some of the overarching themes that I've realized are important for me, and maybe it will inspire you to either figure out or to reconnect to or to investigate what some of the overarching themes are for you, for your habits and your routines. So one of the first things that I need every single day, every single day, is water. I drink about a whole bottle of water first thing when I wake up, because I wake up feeling thirsty. I believe that I have like mermaid energy, me being a Cancer sun. I'm from the water. Nobody can tell me that I'm not. I need a lot of water. I'd be thirsty throughout the whole day. So it's hard for me to connect with when people talk about forgetting to drink water. I'm like, I can't think. I can't move. I'm so tired if I don't drink a lot of water. So here I am with my tea. So I drink water first thing. I try to drink water throughout the day. I try to just check in for when I'm thirsty, and I tend to be thirsty quite a bit. And some days, I have tea as well. This is a ginger turmeric tea. I love it so much. It's very grounding, and it also helps with cleansing, just as water does. Okay, first thing, water, liquids, as much as possible. Sometimes I put lemon in my water, sometimes I put other fruit in my water, but for the most part, if it's a little chilled, I'm good. I don't need much sometimes, and water is just one of those things that taking it in, it feels like I'm breathing. which is why I feel like I'm connected to mermaids and fish and like crabs, crustaceans, things that live in the sea. Because how do you feel like you're breathing by drinking water? That's how I roll. That's how I feel. All right, first thing. Second thing is meditation and mindfulness. For the past year, I've been meditating daily, and I've been learning that meditation is different things. Meditation can be sitting in stillness and focusing on your breath. Meditation can include something that's guided. It can include something that just has music. It can include complete silence. Meditation can be walking or movement related, which I do and I love. Meditation can be, for me as well, being out in nature. Meditation can be doing a task that I want to do or would like to do, or that feels grounding for me, while playing meditation music or while doing it mindfully. So there are times that I wake up in the morning after I've had my water and I want to meditate, and my meditation is doing the dishes or cleaning up a little bit in my home. And especially to play meditation music while I'm doing it, I can get into like a zone with it, and it feels like such an act of devotion to my home and to myself. Sometimes my meditation is taking a bath and really like going all out. So that includes the water, and it also includes something meditative. I might play music or light candles, put in certain essential oils into it, and just infuse it with my intentions for my day or for my week. Or if there's something that I want to cleanse from me, I'll do a spiritual bath, basically. Something I want to cleanse from my energy. That will all be incorporated into it. So meditation is so many things, and if you have found some that work for you, that's so awesome. I'm so glad for you. If it feels like it doesn't work for you, I would definitely encourage you to keep studying or to keep your eyes open or your ears open for other versions, because I'm only talking about movement related or stillness related. There are also so many different types of meditation. There are meditation teachers, and the effects that I feel from meditating daily for the past year are hard to describe, but I feel much more grounded, much more connected to myself, much less hard on myself. And I feel like I'm able to respond to more things rather than always being so reactionary. Being reactionary feels like a minority of my experience, and responding feels like a majority of my experience. And I devote that fully to meditation and to taking that time out. All right, so third thing that I do in the mornings, that I do each day or most days. Some of these are most day things. I try to do everything every day, but I'm on a journey. And again, I'm trying not to be mean to myself or too hard on myself. So these are most daily habits. Another thing is mindset. So mindset is me trying to get my mind right, because sometimes in the dream world, there are different things that I'm working out, and as I'm sure happens for you, and sometimes I wake up in a really funky mood, or I'm thinking about something in a way that it's unresolved and it doesn't feel quite right, and I don't know what to do about it. And I wake up in that energy. I want to wake up and be like, I feel great, or what's my day have for me? But it's not always like that. Sometimes I do wake up on the wrong side of the bed. There's just a lot. There's a lot to heal through. There's a lot to discover. There's a lot to uncover. And especially during a Mercury retrograde, mindset has been very important. So some of the ways that I connect to cultivating my mindset, first of all, is definitely through meditation and mindfulness. And then beyond that, after that, or sometimes infusing that, I will also connect to affirmations. There are a few affirmations that I find on YouTube, like little short ones, like Abraham Hicks ones that I really enjoy. And I just create a little playlist of them. And so in the morning, after my meditation, or sometimes during my meditation, I'll listen to them and they just kind of run through. They're on different areas of life that I'm trying to cultivate a deeper connection to. So one is my ability to create and to be a creator. One is about my connection to money and abundance. One is about my connection to my body and speaking kindly to my body. And this is just what I listen to in the morning, you know, most mornings. And then another thing for mindset is definitely journaling. So some days I have pages and pages to pour out of me. Some days I have a sentence or two. Some days I don't really write anything. But there's something about connecting with myself via journaling, whether that's handwritten, whether that's writing, typing on my phone, whether that's writing, you know, on my laptop, or whether that's voice memos, audio journaling. I do all of them. I don't actually try to organize them at all or make them cohesive. That would be a really fun project maybe for next Virgo season, next year, if I remember and if I feel like it. Because just Virgos with the organization. But I don't organize them. I just kind of let myself be drawn to whatever medium I'm drawn to. Sometimes I do little video ones, but if I'm recording myself on video, I typically say to myself, this must be for YouTube, because I don't want to watch myself again just to watch myself, but I will listen to myself speak. I really love my voice. I will listen to an audio journaling. I will go back and I will read something that I've written. So yeah, journaling really helps with mindset. It gives me a good sense of where I'm at. So let's talk movement. Movement for me comes in a variety of different forms. There is walking. I love walks. I love long walks especially, but sometimes I don't have the energy for a long walk, so I'll go on a shorter walk. And going around the block or walking for maybe 10 or 15 minutes still kind of gives me that sense of adventure, that sense of being connected to nature, just in a condensed form. I also am really getting into running. It's not something that I do every day, but when I do, sometimes I can access that runner's high and I just feel on top of the world. Like, endorphins are real. And being able to tap into them intentionally and by doing something that I can do myself instead of having to ingest something to activate it is really cool. Is really, really cool. I also really enjoy more like class-based things like weightlifting, yoga, Pilates, and there are times when I want to do these things, and maybe I want to be done with the action, with the class, but I don't want to go to a physical gym class. And so those are the times that I try to, again, do a condensed version of that particular thing. Those might be the times that I go to the gym and I'm lifting for 20 minutes instead of for a full hour. Or I stay at home and I do a yoga flow, maybe a few sun salutations for 5 or 10 minutes. And then Pilates moves are fun. I love to do Pilates moves while I'm watching TV sometimes. I'll just be like, let's do the clam. And I just kind of like open my thighs and move them, or I'll take my leg and I'll put it all the way up and bring it all the way down, because why the heck not, you know? And then, of course, dancing. So I'm not formally trained. I never went to a dance studio. That was one of the things I wanted to do in the beginning of 2020. In 2020, I was going to change so many things in my life and I was going to go to dance classes regularly, but pandemic. So it's probably more possible now. However, I don't feel like I need it so much more. But every so often, I would say probably once every other week, I just have like a personal dance party. I just feel so inspired, and I've been out and I've been like listening to music, and I come home and I'm just like, ooh. So dancing for sure. And all right, so then the next three are some of my favorites. All of them are my favorites, but the next three are really special to me. So another thing that I try to do every day, or most days, is to marvel at something. I have such a strong connection to curiosity and imagination, and it is such a deep way that I get to connect to my inner child. So marveling at something could be me watering my plants and just thinking about or noticing how much they've grown, or how they're shifting in shape, or how they're growing in a different direction towards the light. Marveling might be something that I do on a daily walk, on a morning walk, and I notice, a bird chirping, or I notice a butterfly pass by, or I notice a bunny, in the area, or a squirrel, and I'm just like, oh, wow, nature's really out here. And it can be something so small, but for me to see like little woodland creatures, basically, I feel like I'm in the woods, and I'm not, I'm in the city. So it's really sweet. I love marveling at just the life that's out here, the life that exists all around us. My things are typically nature, so animals and plants, whether plants that I have in my home or plants that are out in the world. Plants, animals, insects, I will marvel. And when I notice an animal or an insect, or even a number, there might be numbers that I feel drawn to, or numbers that I see on a license plate, or numbers that I see on someone's house, right? The number of the house or the apartment on my walk. And if it sticks with me, or if I see this number several times, I'll look it up. I'll look up angel number 321. What does this mean? And I'll connect to myself. What was I just thinking about? Or what am I processing on this walk? And I saw that number. Are they connected? I believe they are. And to connect to them makes me also feel connected to my guides and to source and to the divine. And then all of a sudden, all over again, I'm marveling at all of life and how the life that I feel drawn to, the things that I see, the things that I experience are also part of my messages that my ancestors, my guides, my angels are giving to me. And it makes me feel like I'm in dialogue with them, all on a walk. Marveling. I love marveling at life, at nature, at connection. I love marveling. And I'll also people watch on my walks as well. And I just kind of like observe people, and I'll be like, that person looks like they're in a bad mood this morning, or that person looks like they're tired, or that person looks like they're having a good time, or that puppy that's being walked seems like they're excited for life. And I just kind of like have a little observation, and I keep it moving. I try really, really hard not to judge, because it's another thing that doesn't feel good in my body. So I try not to linger too long on anyone that I'm looking at or anyone that I'm observing, but I will marvel. I will definitely marvel. The other thing that I love to do most days is to create. And I consider creation a whole bunch of different things. So I really appreciate getting out of the capitalistic mindset of productivity, saying that creation means that someone else is observing it, someone else is, what's that word? Absorbing it, taking it in, receiving it. I don't believe that my creation has to be commodified in order for it to be legitimate. So, creation to me is everything that I do. It's everything that are my self-care things. It's also the interactions that I have with other people. I believe that it is creation to have a conversation with someone, because that conversation didn't exist before I opened my mouth and the other person listened, and they opened their mouth and I listened. That moment in time was co-created. I believe that when I journal, I'm getting the thoughts that I have in here out onto paper or out onto my laptop or out into, my voice memo. But it didn't exist in such a tangible form until I spoke the things or wrote the things. So it's creation. I consider creation doing a tarot spread for myself, which is another thing that I do each day. So I feel like that is, or most days, again, each day, most days, same difference over here. And so again, that feels like something I'm creating, because even though there are 78 clear cards in a deck, and they all have their particular meanings, to put them together with one another, and then to apply that to something going on in my life, or to create an intention from it, and then to incorporate oracle cards and to incorporate affirmation cards, and it just becomes a whole reading for myself, which I do, again, most days. So that is a created thing. That is something that did not exist before I sat to do it. What else feels like creation? Oh, YouTube. When I create these videos for YouTube, again, it's conversation, it's something visual, it's things that are coming from my mind, it's thoughts that I'm having, it's things that I'm connecting with, things that I'm learning. It's also sharing. So creation to me feels connected to sharing, but the sharing can be with self, I believe. And creation also feels like something that translates what we experience into a new modality. So I think this is also why there are times when two people can create something so similar to each other or have a similar idea, or multiple people can, because I don't believe that creation comes only from within us without any connection to anything else. I believe that creation, when we create, it's because we were taking in media and we were dreaming and we were having thoughts about things and we were healing through something and we were having opinions and we had conversations throughout our life with other people, and that we put something in, other people put something in, we got something from somewhere else, and then we translated it into a new medium, and now here is this new form. It's art. And I really believe that we are constantly creating. And it's so interesting to me to believe that, and then to also see the manifestation of it more so in my life. The more that I move away from anxious thinking and worried thinking and believing or expecting the worst case scenarios of myself or of situations or of other people, the more that I find that I am co-creating with the divine this life of ease and play and nurture and generosity. I'm meeting so many wonderful people, and I know that it's because I've been creating within myself and cultivating within myself more generosity. So there's so much that we're capable of creating. And I really feel like our bodies, our avatars, and our lives are our canvases. So I love creation so much. And then the seventh thing. I've had movement, meditation, mindset, marveling, water. Water is its own separate thing. I love the water. And then creation. So the last thing that I'll mention that I try to do every day or most days that I've been rediscovering during this Virgo season, Mercury retrograde in Libra. I always mix up my words, but all the words always come out, so it's all good. This last thing is inaction. I try to do some form of inaction or rest, however we want to call it, every day. And I say that because I can be very prone to overworking. I can be, with the Virgo moon, I can be very prone to constantly thinking about, what do I need to create? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be responsible to? Where do I need to show up? What do I need to do next? That's a whole like frequency of thought that I can tap into very easily. And it is a whole journey to allow for rest and to allow for inaction and to allow for rest and inaction to be productive and to be self-care. So some of my favorite ways to create inaction on purpose for myself is to sit, to breathe, to drink water or tea, to take my time, to pause between the things that I'm sharing and saying or even thinking. To listen, to observe, to watch TV. I've been watching TV since I was a kid. I love TV so much. To read, to be. Sometimes the other things that are on this list of what I like to do for myself most days that I'm rediscovering as my routines, some of these things can overlap. They're not all demarcated as their own separate thing. So sometimes walking feels like inaction for me, especially if I don't have a particular destination. If I get to wander, it feels restful. Sometimes meditation feels like inaction for me. Sometimes because I'm feeling restless and I'm like, what am I supposed to do next? But then just observing that restlessness, I'm not acting, Sometimes, oh my gosh, every time when I sit and just let myself sit, that feels like an action. And also TV watching feels like an action. Even though sometimes when I watch TV, I'm very active and I'm talking to the screen, I'm asking questions and I'm talking to my partner and I'm like, why do they do that? And we're pausing and we're talking and we're thinking things through. It also is very restful for me because I don't have to do anything. I can talk to the TV, but I don't have to, No one's grading me on it. It is not a space for me to have to be productive in any way. I don't have to share what I have done in my TV watching, what I've completed, what I have started. I can watch 3 things. I can be in the middle of 3 different shows at the same time. Same with books. I can be in the middle of 3 different books at the same time. There's no pressure that I feel to watch TV a particular way or to read books a particular way or to walk a particular way. I feel like I can do whatever I need to do, whatever I want to do. And so inaction has become very important because it's another thing that helps me connect to my inner child and to the joy that the little one has and to life moving in a way and at a pace that I may not expect or I may not need to confine into any particular thing. So Virgo season with Mercury retrograde was fun, I would say. it helped me to practice all that I've been learning over the years. It helped me to be easeful towards myself, to be more kind towards myself. It helped me to recognize some more of my triggers, because I don't get out. None of us get out unscathed during a Mercury retrograde. I really don't believe that. So I was super triggered. Oh my gosh, especially it was in Libra, so it was in my relationship. We'll talk about that in another video, but I'm really grateful for how I showed up for myself and for my partner and for my journey through the trigger, and how much I was able to like kind of bounce back and adjust yet again to what is it that I need? What are my self-care things? What are my habits? What will help me process the things that are coming up? What will help me find more words to share with this person that I care about? We'll definitely have to talk about, the triggers of the Mercury retrograde. But right now I'm enjoying, and I wanted to tell y'all about some of my routines. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you feel a sense of inspiration to be able to connect to your routines yet again, and that you know that there is no destination. I've been learning how many things I love, the overarching umbrellas, actively for the past 3 years. So maybe your journey, your arc is longer. Maybe you're still collecting data on all the things that you love. But wherever you're at, maybe you know everything, and maybe you do your thing every single day and you're super disciplined and nobody can tell you nothing. And if you are, that's awesome too. But wherever you're at, I hope that you know that you are doing the best you can. And I hope that you also learned a lot during Mercury retrograde about what you need, what you desire, what you want more of in your life, what you want less of in your life, and you feel inspired to create that. All right, I'll catch you later. Bye.